I'm Dajana Turkovic, the Workforce Development Analyst for the City of Kingston. I'm going to introduce you to Kingston's Workplace Inclusion Charter and provide a bit of background on its development and implementation. The City has a unique relationship with the Charter. It was both the lead organization on the project during its development, and it's currently one of the employers implementing it. So we thought it made sense to speak to both experiences. In 2016, workforce development and talent attraction were identified as major priorities by the City of Kingston. Reports of employers struggling to fill positions through the local labor market had become increasingly more common as the percentage of the working age population declined. Our demographics were changing, and in order for our community to continue thriving, we needed to be intentional about becoming a more open, diverse, and inclusive place. As a result, in 2017, the work began on a community-based workforce development and immigration strategy that would serve as the framework for all future workforce-related initiatives. One of the linchpin recommendations of the strategy was the development and implementation of a workplace inclusion charter. We had found that despite a deepening skills shortage, marginalized and vulnerable groups in Kingston continued to face systematic barriers to employment. These underutilized labor pools could represent the solution to the talent shortage. However, many employers lacked the skills and knowledge to effectively recruit, onboard, and integrate this hidden talent into their workforce. The purpose of this charter would be to provide guidance and tools to those employers striving to create more inclusive work environments. A group of dedicated volunteers representing the public and the private sectors came together to develop the charter, as well as the accompanying strategy, which outlines concrete actions employers can take. The charter was officially launched in 2019 and has since guided dozens of local businesses on their inclusion journey. The charter was designed to be a comprehensive tool that can adapt to the needs of each individual employer. It provides a framework for employers of all sizes, service providers, and groups underrepresented in the labor market to work together on creating a more inclusive work environment. There are no minimum requirements businesses must meet to ask for support, and there is no minimum goal they have to strive for. The implementation team meets employers where they're at in their inclusion journey, helps them identify achievable goals and develop action plans, and then provides the resources they need to achieve them. This approach has been a key factor in the success of the charter in Kingston. I will now pass it on to my colleague Julia Higginson, who will speak to the implementation of the charter at the City.
Hello, my name is Julia Higginson, and I'm a recruitment and selection advisor here with the City of Kingston. Equity, diversity, and inclusion have been on our minds at the City for some time. At the outset of 2021, we knew it was a priority for this year. We began working with the team from Keys Job Center in support of the Workplace Inclusion Charter early in the year to support us as we begin many significant ED&I initiatives. We were lucky to be able to work with the Workplace Inclusion Coordinator, Wissam, and an inclusion coach, David, on these initiatives. We had an initial meeting to determine our priorities for 2021 and to identify what the team from Keys could support us with. Throughout this year, they have also connected us with tools and resources like the Discoverability Network that we will implement into our recruitment practices. Wissam and David provided background research on data collection and conducting an employee census, which we have then taken with a third-party provider and launched this past September. Our inclusion team also provided us with valuable insight on our opening and closing statements in our job postings, allowing us to make both pieces more welcoming and inclusive to all candidates interested in working with the City of Kingston. Finally, our inclusion team reviewed and provided recommendations on our corporate policies to make them more inclusive. Overall, we are so glad to be part of the Inclusion Charter. We have built an equity, diversity, and inclusion department in the CAO's office here at the City, and we look forward to continuing on with that important work as an employer and a municipality.